Are you better at picking stocks than us? Let's find out.
Brian and I have partnered with Stockcard.io to launch a fun new stock picking contest for 2022.
Brian and I each created a new 5-stock portfolio that we think will outperform the market from here.
Your goal is to create a 5-stock portfolio that you think will crush our portfolio's returns during the year.
Whoever's portfolio performs the best in 2022 will win $1,000 in cash. Thanks to Stockcard.io for sponsoring today's video. All right, Brian, what's the first stock in your portfolio this year?
Unity Software is my first stock, and I have a couple reasons for choosing this. First of all, this is a company that has a platform that helps gamers build games, but even more so looking forward, this is going to be integral in the building of the metaverse. Second, I love this company's business model. They have operate and create subscription revenue. One is a flat fee, the other is usage-based, and I love when those two are married together. And third, this company has strong financials. Lots of cash, not much debt, and the potential for really strong free cash flow.
Well, I'm not picking Unity Software for my portfolio. This is a stock that both of us actually own, Brian.
It is, and it's not hard to see why. This company scores really well on both of our investing frameworks.
Sure does.
Well, Brian, what's your first stock?
I'm going to start it off with Pinterest, ticker symbol PINS. This is a company that I've liked essentially since it came public. Why? First off, this is a founder-led business. I love to invest in founder-led companies. Secondly, this company's financials are fantastic. High margin, profitable, free cash flow positive. And third, and most importantly, this company's market cap is only about $25 billion. When you compare that to some other social networking companies, they're much bigger. I think there's plenty of room for Pinterest to catch up to them.
So it should be no surprise that this is a stock that you own and I don't, but that's not because I don't like it.
Yeah, this company actually scores really well on both of our investing frameworks. All right, Brian, what's next for you?
The next stock that I have is Sea Limited, whose operations are mainly in Southeast Asia. Now, there are 3 parts to this company, but I'm really in it for the long term because of Shopee, the e-commerce site, and Sea Money, the payment site. The third section, which is the gaming section called Garena, is what pays the bills for now, especially with their big hit game, Free Fire. I'm okay with it paying the bills for now, but it doesn't interest me in the long term. Overall, I'm a huge fan of the wide moats that this company has in terms of switching costs, brand value, network effect, and even low cost production.
Now, this is a company that you own and have been very bullish on ever since we first researched it. I haven't been smart enough to buy shares, but that doesn't mean it doesn't score well on my system. It gets a middle of the road score, but this scores very well on your checklist.
Yes, it does. Well, Brian, what is your second stock?
Up next for me is Novocure, a company that I don't think we've mentioned on this channel yet, but their ticker symbol is NVCR. Novocure is a medical device company that's focused on treating cancer. What I love about this company is that its product is non-rival. So that means that you can still use chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and surgery, and this company's product. So there's no natural competitor. Second, the real reason I'm putting Novocure on my portfolio this year is because of its pipeline. The company has a huge pipeline that is packed with opportunity, and there should be multiple data readouts in 2022 that could send the stock higher. Finally, because an investment here depends on the pipeline, the FDA is a big wild card. However, this system has no systemic toxicity risk. Therefore, I think the odds of FDA approval are very, very high, although I could be dead wrong about that.
Now, Brian, it should be no surprise given your specialty in the medical technology area that this is a stock that you own, but not one that I'm comfortable owning yet.
And yet, this company actually scored pretty well on your investing checklist. It scored much better on my investing checklist. Now, this is a company that's definitely on the higher risk side, but in my case, I think the potential reward justifies the risk. All right, Brian, what's up next for you?
The next stock for me is MercadoLibre, the leading e-commerce platform in Latin America. Why do I love it? Well, first of all, I love the company's optionality. They started out as just an e-commerce platform, but now they have a payment solution, Mercado Pago, that's taking over the countries where it's present. Second, I believe the company has very wide moats in terms of low cost production and shipping items, the network effect for the e-commerce site, high switching costs for Mercado Pago. Third, the stock is down markedly over the past 6 months, and I think this represents an enticing entry point for investors.
While this stock is not on my 5-stock portfolio, this company has been in my personal portfolio for years, and it's actually one of my top holdings.
And as you can see, this company scores well both on your framework, and it has the highest score of any company I've run through mine. Well, Brian, what is your third stock?
A growth company that is down on its luck, and that is Zoom Video Communications, ticker ZM. Why invest in Zoom? First off, this is a founder-led business, and I absolutely love the CEO and founder of this company. Second, the company's financials are jaw-droppingly stellar. It's as good as it gets for any company. And third, just like with MercadoLibre, this stock is way down on its luck. I think that 2022 is going to be a rebound year for both the business and the stock.
And Brian, like some other stocks we've had in this isn't in my portfolio for this contest, but it is one that we both own in real life.
And that's because it gets very, very, very good scores on both of our checklists. All right, Brian, what's stock number 4?
This is one of my highest conviction holdings, and that's Axon Enterprises, ticker AXON. This is the company behind taser stun guns that most police forces use, but also the body cameras. Why do I love it? Well, first, it's had the same mission since day one, to protect life, and every decision the company has made has been guided by that mission. Second, there's a ton of optionality. This is a company that went from being a manufacturer of a stun gun to a software as a service company. I love that. And third, there's no real competition when it comes to providing these services to enforcement agencies in the United States and increasingly around the world.
Yet again, Brian, this is a company that is not going to be in my 5-stock sampler. However, I do own it, and largely because of your bullishness on this.
Well, there you go. You can blame me if it doesn't pan out, but it still gets a pretty high score on both of our frameworks.
Sure does. Very investable business.
Brian, what is your fourth stock?
Yet another company that I'm guessing a lot of people haven't heard of, and this is called Semler Scientific. The ticker symbol here is SMLR, and this is a company that is sub $1 billion, so it's the smallest company on the portfolio list today. Why buy this company? Well, first off, Semler is focused on a medical device that makes it much, much easier and less invasive for people to diagnose peripheral artery disease, which is a major medical problem in the United States and really around the world. Equally as impressive is this company is already ridiculously profitable and has a very clean balance sheet. Very, very impressive given this company's size. And third, since its market cap is so small, I think the opportunity ahead of this business is just huge. So therefore, it should be no surprise that this company is in my portfolio.
And yet, much like with Novocure, because of my non-specialty in the med tech space, I don't own it.
And this is one of those companies that scores much better on my checklist than it does at yours. One big caveat here, there are some major customer concentration issues that you need to be aware of if you're going to look at Semler. I'm comfortable with that risk. Brian's not, hence the difference in our scores. All right, Brian, tell us about stock number 5.
My last stock for this contest is Airbnb, ticker symbol ABNB. Why do I like Airbnb? Well, first, I love the company's mission, which is to help anyone belong anywhere. It's guided them to go from just offering rooms to offering experiences. And I think when tough times hit, you see that they do everything they can to help anyone belong anywhere. They stand by that. Second, I believe that they've got a wide moat. There are network effects at play. There is also really strong brand value here. And third, along the same lines as Zoom and MercadoLibre, I think the stock has been held down, in this case because people are worried about COVID cropping up again. I think that over time, obviously, that will be less of a concern and the strength of Airbnb's business will come through.
Brian, this is a stock that I know that you've owned essentially since it came public. I have yet to pull the trigger on it, but I do think it's a very high quality business, and that's especially true if you look at how this company scores on both of our checklists.
That's right. It gets a pretty good score in your checklist, and it gets an above 12 on mine, which is what makes it anti-fragile. All right, Brian, bring us home. What's your last pick for this year?
One of my favorites, and that is Fiverr, ticker symbol FVRR. Like many of the stocks that's on this checklist, this stock is down on its luck recently. However, I have owned and liked Fiverr very much for the long term for several reasons. First off, this company's top line is still growing at a very, very fast rate. I think that can continue for many years to come. Second off, this is a founder-led business. I love investing in companies where the founder is still in charge. And third, this company's financial statements are very, very strong. Very high gross margins, tons of operating leverage ahead, lots of free cash flow. Financially, I think this company is in great shape.
Now, you've dug into this company a lot more than I have, and so you own the stock. I don't. I'm still questioning how strong the moat is.
Fair enough, but as a user of Fiverr myself, I can tell you that I really like using this platform from the consumer perspective. And this company scores extremely well on my checklist. Does pretty well on yours too. All right, well, there you have it. There's our 10 stocks to start 2022. If you think that you can put together a better portfolio than us, here's how you proceed. First, head on over to stockcar.io, and if you haven't done so yet, create a profile. After you've registered for the site, click on Your Research, and then click on the bottom tab that says Your Portfolios. Once you've done that, click on the tab that says New Portfolio to create your 5-stock sampler.
You'll see this screen come up, and the two most important things is that you put a portfolio name at the top, and that when it says portfolio goal, you must select the Beat the Bryans contest. Without that, you won't won't be a part of the contest.
On the next page, just upload a simple image, fill in the data that you see on your screen, and move on to the next screen. On the final screen, click that button that says Submit and Make Portfolio Public. That's how we'll be able to track what you're doing.
This screen will come up and it is your portfolio's homepage for this contest. Now you have to put your stocks in. To do that, look for the button in the lower right-hand corner that says New Order. A screen will come up and you have to fill it in with things like the ticker symbol, the date, and then you can put in just buying one share of whatever stock is entering this portfolio. Do that 5 times and you have your portfolio for the Beat the Bryans contest.
So there you have it. We hope that you're going to compete against us. This contest is live as of today, so head on over to stockcard.io to create your own portfolio and compete against us.
Now, there's no cheating. All 5 stocks that you pick have to be entered on the same day, the day that the portfolio is created, which means no backdating your return.
You can also enter this contest at any time throughout 2022. So if you're watching this on any day before December 31st, 2022, you can still enter the contest for free.
Check out this video's show notes for more information on contest rules and details.
I don't know about you, Brian, but I am looking forward to getting crushed by our viewers in 2022.
It will be fun to see how this plays out.
And hopefully we can discover some new stocks that we should research along the way. Brian's out.